Live from Studio 8A, coverage you can count on in high definition. This is KOMU 8 News at 9.
Anytime bombs are used to target innocent civilians, it is an act of terror.
That is the word today from President Obama, a day after the bombings at the Boston Marathon. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jem Reek.
And I'm Brittany Pieper. The FBI so far has received more than 2,000 tips, but no suspects yet on who's responsible for the bombings. Now, what's normally a day of great accomplishment and pride turned into one of tragedy and bloodshed yesterday at the Boston Marathon.
Here are the numbers we know tonight. 176 people were injured, 3 are dead. Among them, a Boston University grad student, an 8-year-old boy, Martin Richard from Dorchester, and 29-year-old Crystal Campbell of Medford, Massachusetts. 17 people are still listed in critical condition.
KOMU8's Asker Moe has been on the streets in Boston all day long.
He spent the day following up on the local runners caught up in the middle of this tragedy and joins us now live from Boston.
I'm just in front of Boylston Street where the explosions went off about 100 yards behind me yesterday, behind all the cars back there. The area is closed right now. Police are still investigating the circumstances around this bombing. Several medias have reported an official saying they found a circuit board that might have been used to trigger this explosion. Take a look at this footage from earlier on today. I spoke to a lot of people that were still incomprehensible as to why this tragedy happened. Still couldn't really believe that it actually did happen. Some people are crying as they put flowers for the victims and the wounded. Most of the Mid-Missouri runners that we know about in the marathon left this morning. But I met one couple from Columbia that revisited the hotel where they were when the explosion went off, just 2 blocks away.
It was, you had this sick feeling in your stomach, and you know, all I could think of was getting this husband friend of mine and his wife and us to just get the heck out of downtown Boston, get away as fast as we could. And we soon did once we got all grouped up and everyone was around. We finally knew everyone was safe, everyone was happy.
Dysett also told me this incident has created a sense of fear in the couple, and they won't be coming back to the next Boston Marathon. There's still no motive for these bombings, and no one has yet to be arrested. The city is still incomprehensible as to why they've had to face this tragedy. Reporting live in Boston, KOMU 8 News, Asker Moe.
Here in Columbia, MU student leaders organized Mizzou for Boston today. It's a fundraiser to benefit those affected by the tragedy. The fundraiser is collecting Mizzou apparel, stuffed animals, and monetary donations.
This is just a very easy way for us to just kind of show that we care in a situation that is very unfortunate.
For more information on how to donate, visit KOMU.com.
Well, it was a gray, cold, kind of rainy day here for the mid-Missouri area, and as we look at our satellite and radar, you can see that rain is moving off to the east here pretty nicely, but it's going to be leaving us with some overcast skies for the remainder of your night. And as we look at temperatures here ranging in the 40s for the most part, 47 here in Macon, 47 also down in Columbia, and 45 in Osage Beach. But we do have this warm front moving in tonight. It's going to provide us with a chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms here moving into your Wednesday, but I will have more on that coming up here in just a bit.
Maya, thank you very much. Digging deeper into the Columbia murder case on Cimarron Drive, today KOMU obtained the probable cause statement on accused murderer James Thompson.
Columbia police arrested Thompson this weekend on suspicion of first-degree murder in connection with the shooting death of Brian Daniels last Wednesday night. KOMU8's Julia Manning is in the studio to give us a look at what the statements revealed. Julia?
First, let's take a little look at the background on the timeline of this case. Now, Columbia police responded to a call from Thompson last Thursday saying he found Daniels dead in Daniels' home on Cimarron Drive. Thompson told detectives he was in a 3-year romantic relationship with Daniels. Officials say Daniels suffered 3 gunshot wounds and was pronounced dead on the scene. Now, in those probable cause statements from Boone County Prosecutor Dan Knight, we see allegations that Thompson's alibi doesn't quite check out. Thompson originally told authorities he was in St. Charles the night of April 9th, and he told KOMU 8 News.
I was out of town when the accident happened.
Where were you?
I was in St. Louis. I had went and spoke to my friend who's a reverend, and then the day after I bought a I purchased a bathtub. And then I came home the next, that evening, and that's when I found him.
But cell phone records show Thompson was in Columbia until around midnight the night Brian Daniels was killed. Thompson made a phone call from the St. Charles area around 6 a.m. on April 10th. Thompson also claims to live in this home, belonging to Daniels, but the statement says Daniels told police on April 4th that Thompson had been stealing items from his home and he planned to change the locks to keep Thompson out of his house. But Thompson told KOMU he did have keys to the house.
They told me they couldn't prove that I lived here, therefore I couldn't go back inside the home, even though I was the one that was in the home when I called them. I had my house keys and I opened the front door, and they're telling me that I can't even go back in there.
The report claims Thompson made more than $18,000 pawning items Daniels had reported stolen. Thompson remains in Boone County Jail with a $2 million cash-only bond. James is not the only one arrested in the connection to the murder. Christopher Hurt, 24, of Columbia, was also arrested for hindering prosecution by providing authorities with false statements involving the case. His vehicle was found at the scene of the murder when police arrived, and Hurt allegedly provided an alibi story for Thompson. Thompson's mother, Jacqueline Miller, was arrested over the weekend on suspicion of third-degree assault of an officer and resisting arrest. KOMU-8's Courtney Kincaid spoke with Columbia Police Sergeant Joe Bernhardt earlier today, and he said the case is ongoing and there's a possibility of more charges in the case.
Thank you, Julia. Today, the Missouri Senate endorsed a bill to make it easier for parents to give up newborn babies. Senate Bill 256 would give parents 45 days to relinquish a child without legal consequences. Currently, this period lasts just 5 days. Along with medical facilities, fire departments, and law enforcement offices, the bill would include maternity homes and pregnancy resource centers as places that a new parent could leave a newborn. The Columbia Fire Department does not anticipate this bill changing anything about its open door policy.
It really doesn't change what we do. 5 days, 45 days, it really doesn't make any difference. We're still going to accept the child, and the child's going to be then passed on to the proper authorities.
The bill would also allow school districts to teach high school students about the Safe Place for Newborns Act.
An accident in Jefferson City backed up traffic shortly after 6 o'clock tonight. The accident occurred on Highway 54 east between the bridges and U.S. Highway 63. The police department said 54 was closed, but about 30 minutes later, traffic was moving slowly. It was back to normal. About 45 minutes later, the police department said it will release updates later tonight. Just one day after Tax Day, a Columbia man is in the Howard County Jail tonight, charged with stealing by deceit through his tax preparation business. Prosecutors say David Keithley lied to a Glasgow couple when preparing their 2011 tax returns. Prosecutors say Keithley told the couple the IRS wouldn't accept personal checks and insisted the couple write the checks to his company instead. The couple reported losing nearly $13,000 to Keithley over the course of 4 months.
Deputies at the Howard County Sheriff's Department say Keithley appeared for arraignment this morning and is now in jail on a $75,000 cash bond. The chief investigator says Keithley took advantage of the couple's trust. To make matters worse, he says they later had to write another check to the IRS.
This was an issue of building trust, and in that trust factor that they had for Mr. Keithley, he capitalized on that, and he then victimized them for several $1,000s. The victims had to write out another check of several $1,000s to pay the IRS for the taxes that were owed.
Investigators say Keithley worked out of this Fayette building with no signage about his business. Keithley's first court appearance is scheduled for April 23rd, and Keithley could face several years in prison.
The tragedy in Boston has other countries rethinking their security.
We'll tell you how the Boston Marathon is affecting marathons around the world.
Plus, a massive snow pileup proves to be a tourist attraction.
And we do have warmer temperatures coming up here for your Wednesday, but with those warmer temperatures, we'll bring rain showers. We'll have more on that coming up here in just a bit.